What's up guys, KSWTV here, back again with a brand new video, and today we haven't actually made a video for a while, so we're going to be going into what you guys must have missed with transfers, transfer news, just a bit of a catch up in general for Manchester City Football Club and what is going to be going likely moving forward, going into the transfer window, and what players could we get in that transfer window. So let's get straight into it. Now Manchester City have hit that 1.5 million euro activation sort of clause thing that was in the contract for Julian Alvarez when they put him back on loan to River Plate. That clause, when activated, makes sure that he is in the starting 11 for the 2022/2023 season and will not be continuing on with River Plate for that extra 6 months. River Plate really desperately wanted to keep Alvarez for those 6 months that was on that little contract, so that they could get a bit of help for the Copa Libertadores, which is like the Champions League of South American football, I'm pretty sure. But he's been in great form. He's just scored 6 goals against Lima in that competition. He continues to score goals for fun. I think 33 goals and 11 assists in 33 appearances, which is crazy to think. I imagine what he can do in the Premier League. He's such a versatile player. Where he's going to play next season, or this season, I should say, who knows? Is it going to be on the right? Is it going to be on the left? Is it going to be down the middle? Who knows? But I can't wait to see Julian Alvarez come into Manchester City, and I think he's going to be an amazing player for us. Now, regarding Erling Haaland, now obviously Erling Haaland's joining Manchester City. They've activated the release clause, which is around £62 million, something around there. He's just on international duty. He scored 2 goals in his last game for Norway against Sweden, and he's been recording himself in the dressing room, listening to Wonderwall. Obviously, Wonderwall is very heavily linked to Manchester City with the brothers from Oasis, massive fans of the club. When is he going to join? It's going to be at the start of the transfer window, it seems. All jerseys, all merchandise, and everything like that, it seems, is going to be released at the same time as well. So I think it's going to be official. There's going to be a photo of him signing the contract and everything, like usually is for all players that join the club, but it's not going to happen till it seems like 1st of July. I think that's when the window opens for the transfers. It might be a little bit before, but whenever that date is, that's when he's going to join Manchester City and be an official Manchester City player from the media outlets, social media, everything's going to be posted like that. So, yeah, Erling Haaland, star of the transfer window, is joining Manchester City. Now to more possible incomings into the club. We saw on YouTube part 1 and part 2, Carl Doon, our chairman, didn't even hint. He just said there are going to be a couple more players joining Manchester City, and it seems that these two are the most likely. They're the ones that have been heavily linked, heavily admired by Pep, and a lot of journalists and sources have come out to say these guys are definitely joining Manchester City. It's just a question of when. And Calvin Phillips from Leeds has been one of those players. Obviously, Fernandinho going back to Brazil, our captain, what a great servant of the club, one of the best players I've ever seen in my life, not just for Manchester City, but in world football in his position. He could be the guy to replace Fernandinho. Calvin Phillips, will he be a starting midfielder? No. Rodri is that guy. He can play either as a holding and also in the midfield as well. He's got great leadership. We saw him at the Euros. What a partnership with Declan Rice. Maybe we could switch up the formation this year to a 4-2-3-1 of 2 holding midfielders. We've done that before, and it looks very good. But Calvin Phillips seems to be the guy. It looks for around a fee of around 50 million Leeds want. I think that's not going to be the case. I don't think we're going to be paying £50 million for Calvin Phillips for a second string DM or a rotation DM/CM. He can be molded into a £100 million player. Don't get me wrong. I love Calvin Phillips. I think he's a really good player, and the things Pep could do with him is amazing. But I think I'd be going around the 40 million at the most. But also, Leeds are very confident in him signing a lengthy deal, even with the links to Manchester City, the links to Manchester United as well. I don't think he would go to United because of that rivalry with Leeds. He's Leeds through and through. I don't think he would do that to the club. So it looks like Manchester City is going to be the front runners for Calvin Phillips. It's just whether or not he signs that extra lengthy deal with Leeds and extends his contract with his boyhood club. And another incoming here from Brighton and Hove Albion, another player we've been heavily linked and looks like to be the more concrete deal out of him and Calvin Phillips. Mark Cucarella, the left back / left wing back from Brighton Hove Albion. He come from the Masia, which is Barcelona Academy. He got loaned out to Getafe. They signed him on a permanent deal, and then Brighton picked him up. I'm not sure what the fee was, but it looks like Brighton would be willing to let go of the left back for a fee of around 35 to 40 million pounds, which I think is a little bit steep. I wouldn't really pay more than 30, purely for the fact he's only been in the Prem for 1 year. And who knows, he could get second season syndrome. You never know. But when you're in a Manchester City team, I don't think that's the case. Even with players like sort of Jack Grealish and that coming in, haven't lived up to expectations, but still very decent players. I reckon Pep would really like an out-and-out left-back in his team, especially with maybe Zinchenko leaving. I think that he'd be a great player for us going forward. He's a very good player. He's created I think, the most assist-making opportunities from any defender in the league, or maybe any player in the league. He's very good going forward, as I said. Very good defender as well. Good at set pieces. And he shows a lot of heart when he plays. He tries a lot. You can tell he really loves the game. So it looks like the more concrete deal, as I said, out of Calvin Phillips and Cucarella. But I think that we will get in Cucarella maybe at the start of the transfer window, as well as when Haaland arrives. So yeah, Mark Cucarella seems to be going to be our new left back for the 22/23 season. Now to get in with Gabriel Jesus, a player that I love. I love Gabriel Jesus. In another scenario, he'd be staying in Manchester City his whole career. I think he's a great player. He come here at a young age of 19, made some great memories for me as a fan. He's got a record of like 1 in 2 or just over 1 in 2. Considering people think he's underperformed, that's unreal. But obviously, he's going to leave the club this year. There's no ifs or buts about it. He's going to leave. He needs game time. He needs a concrete starting 11 position, and we can't give that to him right now. Mahrez, Julian Alvarez coming in, and if he stays, you'd have to rotate in and out. Haaland's obviously going to be the striker, and that left wing's occupied, I think, by Grealish, Phil Foden, and Sterling will rotate in there as well on the right side. But he's been offered to both Madrid teams, Atletico and Real. Atletico have said no, we just don't have any room for him, and for that salary, he's offered himself around 5 million net. His agent has given the details to the Madrid teams. Real Madrid, on the other hand, would love to have the player, but they just got to figure out what they're going to do first. He can be option number 1, number 2, number 3. Obviously, they've got players that they want to come in, like Tchouaméni and other players they're going to spend big amounts of money on. So, will Gabriel Jesus move to La Liga? You never know, but I'm not going to write that option off. But also, another club that are coming in for Gabriel Jesus is Arsenal Football Club. Now, obviously, they haven't got Champions League football, which might be a little bit of a hindrance when he wants to choose to stay in the Prem and go to Arsenal. When you have other clubs out there who could join, like Madrid, as I said, maybe a Juventus or Inter, or clubs like that actually have Champions League football. But it looks like Arsenal are very keen on Gabriel Jesus to be the main man up front or on the wing. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. But it looks like they're going to be going to have to pay a bit of money, actually. Man City, before they even open conversations, are going to want an offer around £50 million. But that's just to get into the door. That's not going to be concrete. If I was Manchester City, I'd try and rot the fuck out of these guys. I'd ask for 60, 65 million at the very minimum, because Gabriel Jesus, if he goes to another club in the Prem, I could see him scoring 15, 20 goals a season. He's such a good player, and that's not even including all the attributes he brings to that team and the assists he can also provide as well. So Gabriel Jesus, he's going to move. Where he's going to go, we don't know, but there are clubs definitely interested in him, but it's going to take a lot of money to take him away from the Blues. Also, with Arsenal Football Club, again, it looks like they are looking into Alexander Zinchenko, our left back, former midfielder, transformed into a left back when he moved from Ukraine. What a great player he has been to the club. He shows a lot of heart. He likes to fight for his spot. He's had opportunities to leave the club in the past. The club have been open to him leaving for regular football, but he has stayed. He's tried to fight for his spot. But with Pep Guardiola bringing in players all the time and raising competition, it's going to get too much sometimes. And he's still young. He needs more game time, and any club will be lucky to pick him up. So Arsenal are looking into the fullback, maybe not to play as a fullback, but to play more in the midfield. And if he needs to play on that left mid / left back side, just as a bit of, I guess you could say he's a utility player still, but more of a starting utility player, a very versatile player, someone who can play anywhere on that left side of the field and in the midfield as well. I think Zinchenko now is at that point of his career where he's not opposed to leaving the club. He knows that if he stays at Man City, he will win trophies. He will have a very successful career, but he won't be remembered as that player he wants to be remembered as, a player that was in the starting 11 all the time and really helping the team win these trophies. But it looks like Arsenal are the most likely candidates to poach Alexander Zinchenko from us at the moment. What they're going to ask in terms of price, I think it's going to be around the 30 million. We bought him in for 1.5 million. We're going to resell him out for at least 25, 30 mil. That's a great bit of business from Man City. I will miss Zinchenko, but it's times like this where you just got to go and explore options, build your career up for yourself. But yep, Arsenal looking at Zinchenko. Now to the final bit of news here, and is regarding Raheem Sterling. Now, Raheem Sterling has been rumoured to leave the club for a couple of years now. He's had expressions of interest from Barcelona, Real Madrid, and even Juventus. And it looks like, I don't know if he's going to leave, but I think he wants a big contract, an extra 50 to 100 grand on the top of his 300 grand a week wage right now. For someone that has not played enough games to warrant that, but when he has, he's been very good. He's had still good statistics this year. I think like 14 goals and 9 assists, something like that. He's come off the bench a fair few of those games. He was very good for us in the Champions League, but he's weighing up whether to stay or to go. He has a bit of a dream to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, as every footballer does these days. They're the pinnacle of football, in my opinion. But City are very confident still of tying him down to a new contract. I think he should not leave because Erling Haaland's coming in, and that's going to give him a lot more freedom to really run at defenders, use his pace, and just cross the ball in. Got a 6'4" Norwegian fucking bazooka in there to bury every single cross. I think Raheem Sterling's going to have an amazing season of assists and goals as well. I think if he doesn't get enough game time this year, but he will run his contract down, and it's just going to be whoever the highest bidder is with the best project. And I think that will be a move that Barcelona really wants for Raheem. I think they really want him to run his contract down because they've got no money at the moment, and just to pay his wages would be great for them. 400 grand a week is actually a lower end on the wage bill for them. But Raheem Sterling, I think he should stay. And I really hope he does have a great season next year and signs that extra 50, 100 grand he wants for the contract and stays at Man City for another 4 or 5. But that was everything that has been happening regarding Manchester City with the news of the club, transfers, incomings, outgoings, etc. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, bell notification also so you don't miss any videos. Make sure you join the Facebook group Manchester City Global Fan Group, over 400,000 members at the time of this recording. That is just also more updates and everything on the go on Facebook, so you don't have to watch videos like this if you don't want to. But anyways, I digress. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.